Urantia is now quivering on the very brink of one of his most amazing and enthralling epochs of social readjustment, moral quickening, and spiritual enlightenment. The spiritual renaissance must await the coming of these new teachers of Jesus' religion, who will be exclusively devoted to the spiritual regeneration of men. And then will these spirit-born souls quickly supply the leadership and inspiration requisite for the social, moral, economic, and political reorganization of the world. Urantia book language is usually packed with meaning, but what quivering on the very brink of a spiritual renaissance and spiritual enlightenment based on what they're saying here. In the third quote, we are told again that this social readjustment, this period of spiritual renaissance, is going to quickly supply a leadership that's going to reorganize the world along social, moral, economic, and political lines. So this is an extremely radical change in the way this world operates. And we're told in the Urantia book that we're on the very brink of that. Now, before going further with the Urantia book, I want to Opian ideas running throughout half the world, dying, angels, poisoning, people, God's wrath coming. These are all coming actually from only 2 paragraphs in the Bible. So this rapture theory that's popular with the Protestants and a lot of the population in America is coming from Matthew 24:30, where we're told that the angels are going to get sent with a trumpet call, and they're going to be elect from the 4 winds, and 2 men will be in the field, one will be taken and the other left. 2 women will be grinding, one will be taken and the other left. The other quote that is the foundation of this rapture theory, before the great cataclysm where half the world ends and so forth, comes from Thessalonians. For the Lord himself will come down from heaven with a loud command, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trumpet call of God, and the dead in Christ will rise first. After that, we who are still alive and are left will be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, and so we'll be with the Lord forever. Now, this rapture theory literally is standing only on these 2 quotes. But what's really interesting is that when we look at the other prophecies in the Bible, they do not concur. So, for instance, in the book of Daniel, written around 600 BC, while the Jews were in captivity in Babylon, Daniel tells us in chapter 12 that at that time Michael, the great prince who stands watchful where the people will rise up. There'll be a time of distress, the likes of which has never occurred before. But at that time, your people, everybody whose name is found in the book of life, will be delivered. Many will roam to and fro. Knowledge will be increased. And how long will this take? When the power of the holy people has finally been shattered, all these things will be completed. So what are we being told here in the book of Daniel? Many will roam to and fro, so there's going to be a lot more travel, and knowledge will increase. That's obviously the digital revolution and our ability to traverse the earth in much faster time. How long will it take? The power of the holy people has been finally shattered. These things will be completed, and we all know what's happening with not only evolutionary religions, but also the power of the true religionists to affect this world. We're being shut out more and more. In Daniel 7:19 we hear, as I watched, the horn was waging a war against the saints and prevailing against them until the Ancient of Days arrived and pronounced judgment in favor of the saints of the Most High. And the time came for them, these saints, to possess the kingdom. But the court will convene, and his dominion will be taken away and completely destroyed forever. That's the Antichrist. Then the sovereignty, dominion, and greatness of the kingdom shall, under all of heaven, will be given to the people, the saints of the Most High. His kingdom will be everlasting kingdom, and the rulers will say, serve and obey it. So what I want to point out here, how in the book of Daniel, we don't have that cataclysmic, apocalyptic, dystopian future. All it says is that the rulers are going to change, which is what also we're told in the arrangement. If we move on to the book of Revelation, in Revelation 2:26 we hear that, he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. Again, we hear about a change of power from the rich and haughty to the spiritually elect. Also in Revelation 7:14 we hear that these are the ones who have come out of a great tribulation. They have washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. For this reason they are before the throne of God, and serve him day and night in his temple. And the one seated on the throne will spread his tabernacle over them. Never again will they hunger or thirst, or have excessive heat, because the Lamb, the setter of the throne, will be their shepherd. So this is talking about a day in the future when what's going to happen is going to happen, and then we're going to have a throne of God and a temple with the Son of Man seated on it. And he is going to rule the earth, him and the saints that he puts in power. Also, we see in the book of Revelation a similarity with what we're told in the Aranasha book. And it does not have the apocalyptic vision, even though this section is coming from that same book of Revelation. Now, as we know, the book of Revelation, like all other scriptures from ancient times, some of it was written by holy men, and some of it was written by not so holy men. So we know that the book of Revelation was a valid, authentic vision that John, the Apostle of John, had in an island of Patmos while he was in exile. But we also know that it's been greatly jumbled. A lot of things have gone missing. Some things have been added in, and the character of it has been changed. Angels don't bring poison. God does not have wrath. That whole section is false, but we see in the other sections that again, that he that overcometh and keep my works, to him will I give power over the nations. So life is going to continue on this planet after a period of trial and tribulation, at which time the power is going to be given to a totally different kind of people. Again, so we're finding this in the book of Revelation and the book of Daniel, and the Aranasha book all concurreth on this point. But there's more. We can also go to the book of Enoch. Again, we hear about this transfer of power. Enoch chapter 38 says, and when the righteous one shall appear before the eyes of the righteous, whose elect words hang upon the Lord of spirits, a light shall appear to the righteous and the elect who dwell on the earth. Where then will be the dwelling of the sinners, and where the resting place of those who have denied the Lord of spirits? It had been good for them if they had not been born. When the secrets of the righteous shall be revealed, and the sinners judged, and the godless driven from the presence of the righteous and the elect, from that time those that possess the earth shall no longer be powerful and exalted. So again, we're hearing the same story, this time from the book of Enoch, that the sinners and the righteous shall be separated, and the righteous shall inherit the earth. So in the book of Enoch, in the book of Daniel, in the book of Revelation, and the Aranasha Revelation, we're all hearing about the same, that some great event, thus launched by a divine presence or incarnation, as followed by a throne being set up for this divine being in a certain place where he's going to reign forever and ever, with the righteous and the saints being given power over the nations. This is a recurring theme. Again, we hear in the Aranasha book in paper 170 that Jesus referred to one phase of the kingdom to the future, and did on numerous occasions. intimate that such an event might appear as part of a world crisis. So Jesus said many times that the next phase is going to be going a period where the world is in a serious crisis, which I think we can all identify with right now. In paper 176, Uriah says what the whole world must face as a literal fact at the end of an age, you as individuals must each most certainly face as a personal experience when you reach the end of your natural life. The Uriah book is amazing with the way it uses words, and at times is so subtle about what it's saying. So the end of your life is similar to what the whole world will face at the end of the age. So it's a death experience where the old world and the old ways of doing things and thinking are coming to an end, are reaching a dead end before, of course, a new birth. So again, we see that the Urantia book is an agreement with ancient scriptures in that there's going to be a world crisis, a period of great trial and tribulation, and it's going to be feeling like reaching the end of life, or at least the end of this particular chapter in human history, because what we're hearing is the end of the age is not the same thing as end of the times. The end of the times is something that comes from the book of Revelation. It's not an end time. It's the end of one chapter and beginning of another. So we can see outside of a couple of shaky quotes from Matthew and Thessalonians, all of the ancient scriptures agree with what the irrational revelation is teaching. The Urash papers never really refers to what things are going to be like after this event, after the end of this age, and after the arrival of a paradise. But we can kind of do some intelligent guesswork here. I want to show you first what it says about the tree of life in the book of Enoch. As you know, the tree of life was burnt in the temple of the Universal Father, while it was on earth, could feed the immortals or the watchers that were in this world, the Adam Nees and their staff and others who were here could continue life indefinitely while he took the fruit from this tree. Let's hear what Enoch 25 has to say. This high mountain which thou hast seen, whose summit is like the throne of God, is his trunk, where the holy great one, the Lord of glory, the eternal King, will sit, when he shall come down to visit the earth with goodness. And as for this fragrant tree, no mortal is permitted to touch it till the great judgment, when he shall take vengeance on all, and bring everything to its consummation forever. It shall then be given to the righteous and holy. Its fruit shall be fruit for the elect. It shall be transplanted to the holy place, the temple of the Lord, the eternal King. Then shall they rejoice with joy and be glad, and into the holy place shall they enter. And its fragrance shall be in their bones, and they shall live a long life on earth, such as thy fathers lived. So this is a really interesting quote from Enoch. And we know also Enoch, it is not original. A lot of things have been added. A lot of things have been taken away. It's been corrupted like all of these scriptures. However, we also know that Jesus read and reread the book of Enoch many times, and that he took that title of the Son of Man from the book of Enoch. And that basically tells you that he recognized himself before incarnating as a human being here. He recognized himself in those stories of Enoch when he traveled to the heavens. And he said, yes, I am that Son of Man that he's talking about. So there is truth in it. And what we're here in this quote, again, is the story of the throne of God, this Son of God that comes to earth, the Lord of the earth, when ye shall visit the earth with goodness. And that at this throne, or near the throne, there's going to be the tree of life. And